an honour to serve under your chairmanship, Mr. Stringer. This is an issue that's been raised by parents right across Beckenham and Penge, with over 600 constituents signing the recent petition, placing Beckenham and Penge as one of the top constituencies nationally in terms of signatures. We've also had one of the largest sign-ups for the smartphone-free childhood campaign. This includes an active local group that I've been working with, led by Crispin Eccleston, Elizabeth Eastham and Raj Gandhi. Hundreds of people have emailed me, it's come up on the doorstep, and it's been raised through local schools and local groups like the Scouts and Girl Guides. So I really welcome the opportunity to speak in today's debate, and I'd like to thank my honourable friend, the member for Folkestone and Hyde, for securing it. We know that a growing number of children use smartphones on a daily basis. Technological advancements are a fact of life, and they are here to stay. Smartphones and new media applications are a means of communication, and they come with many benefits. Before I became an MP, I worked in the tech sector for 7 years, including as head of international operations for the global edtech firm Discovery Education, which teaches children coding and digital curriculum subjects. We want our children to be digitally native, confident in using technology, and able to harness it for their own benefit. Mm-hmm. We also want our children to be happy, healthy, and safe, to be aware of and resilient to the risks of social media and the world online. And I think it is finding this balance in what is relatively new territory for all of us that we are hoping to get to. There is a growing body of evidence that shows concern for the amount of time children and young people are spending online. A study published earlier this month from the University of Birmingham found that 12 to 15-year-olds in the UK now spend an average of 35 hours a week on their smartphone. That's the equivalent of having a full-time job. And all of that time spent online is not time spent interacting with family and friends face-to-face, playing outside, and building the social and emotional skills needed to form deep and meaningful relationships. It's also time when parents have very little idea what their children are viewing or who they are speaking to. Increasingly, we are coming to understand that giving our children unfettered access to the internet is a safeguarding risk. And we should think about this as not only giving our children access to the internet, but giving the internet access to our children. Over the weekend, I listened to a brilliant podcast on the BBC about Greystones, a small town in County Wicklow in Ireland, where a group of head teachers came together to work with parents who signed a voluntary pledge that they would delay buying phones for their children until at least age 11. One of the head teachers said, "You wouldn't let your child open the door to a room full of strangers and leave them in that room on their own. And unfortunately, that is happening when they have a smart device." The need for action is clear, and with solutions that are practical, proportionate, and can be implemented. And one of the things I think we risk doing is excluding children and young people from that conversation. That's why I recently held a student focus group at Harris Academy, Beckenham, and spoke to young people from every year group about the impact smartphones are having on their everyday lives. And I'd like to say thank you to students including Arik, Sarah and Rose for organising this alongside one of their fantastic teachers, Layla Hussein. Whilst the majority felt that the benefits of having a smartphone outweighed the downsides, over half of all the students present said that smartphones and social media overall have a negative impact on their mental health, and the same number admitted that they couldn't survive a week without a smartphone. When I asked them what they rely on their phones for, they said that it's help with schoolwork, chatting with friends, and filling the time. These were the top things on their list. When I asked them what they'd be most excited for if they had a phone-free day, their responses included going to the park, walking the dog, spending time with family, playing music, and making art. All things I'm sure we'd eagerly encourage our children to do more of. Overall, the students gave a balanced view. While all were clued up on the risks and agreed that social media needed properly enforced age limits, they also saw the positive role it can play if used in moderation and with the right protections. Listening to different perspectives is really important in this debate, and we should also respect the idea that in the large, parents know what is best for their children. I strongly believe that the best approach will be community-focused. Working as a community, creating voluntary codes and pacts means that we can support parents and schools and bring them with us. I believe it is clear to parents this is coming from a place of concern rather than a place of judgment, that we share their fears and we need to work together to address them. And I pay tribute to the work of Smartphone-Free Childhood, who have secured recent wins in Barnet, Southwark, Ealing and many more areas across London and the rest of the country. I hope to learn from those examples in Beckenham and Penge as I continue to work with parents groups, local schools and students to find a way forward that will mean children and young people can lead happy, healthy and carefree childhoods whilst attaining all the benefits the digital world offers. This also includes a meeting next week at Harris Academy Beckenham on Monday, which will bring these stakeholders together. But I also look forward to continuing to push social media companies to take greater responsibility across a range of areas, including age verification and the sort of content children and young people are being exposed to on a daily basis. And I strongly believe in the principle as well of reverse burden, which was made really well by the Right Honourable Member for East Hampshire when he said that we wouldn't take this approach to children's toys or food. I'd like to say thank you again to my honourable friend, the member for Folkestone and Hyde, for securing this debate, and the Minister for his time too.